Welcome to what was going to be the last video in a series of 3 PowerPoint tips and tricks. We might reformat this and we'll just keep going, plugging along, and more tips that we find, we'll keep publishing in further videos. So tip number 1 for us is the ability to embed fonts. I don't know whether you've ever received a message similar to this when you've gone to open a PowerPoint, whether you've created or somebody else has created, whether it's been done on another computer, but not all the fonts are supported in your version of PowerPoint. What we actually have the ability to do is to embed any fonts that are used within the PowerPoint file, so it doesn't matter what version or what computer another person is using it when they open. So if we go up the file, down to options, and we want to click on this little tab here that says save, and in here we've got this little tick box to embed fonts within the file of the PowerPoint presentation that we are creating. Tip number 2, if we're adding videos, sometimes our PowerPoint file can get rather large, so what we actually have the ability to do is to compress any media files. So if I've got a video embedded on here and it's taking up a lot of space, what I can do is to go into File, Info, and compress that media. So File, into Info, and we can compress that media down to 720, 480, whatever it happens to be. Obviously we will lose a little bit of quality, but certainly saving on some space. Tip number 3 is creating a video, a HD video export. So at the moment, all these individual slides depend on us clicking and moving forward within that slide. But what we actually can do is turn this PowerPoint into a video. So if we go up to File and Export, if we've already created timings within our video, we can use those timings and animations. But we also have the option here to tell it how long we want to stay on each slide. We also, like we had before, the compressibility, we can change the quality of that video that we're producing, whether it's 480, 720 or Ultra HD. These are pretty cool, a fantastic option. It's called the Shape Intersect tool. So what I've done here, I've inserted a picture, just an online picture. I've added a shape just from our Insert Shapes option down in here. What I'm going to do is to drag this shape over the top of the other one. Now obviously we need to make sure that this layer, this shape here, is on top of the other image. Just going to enlarge it a little bit so that whole turtle will fit inside that shape. What I'm going to do is to make sure I click on the image first. I'm going to hold down the Control key, click on the shape. I'm going to go up here into Shape Format, over here into Merge Shapes, and what I'm going to do is come down here and select this Intersect, and you can see what it's done there for me. We do have the ability then to move that around, change the size of it, etc. But that image is not able to be changed within that shape unless we go up here and go into Picture Format. And what we can do is to go Crop. And now we've got the ability to move that image around, resize it, whatever it is that we want to do. Down here it says that it can also be done with custom shapes. It's not so much a lasso effect, but it's more a free form shape that we're going to produce. So what I'm going to do is to insert an image. And let's stick with our animal theme. Here we have a picture of a bird. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to insert a shape. I'm going to select this one here, freeform shape. Just using my mouse, I'll go around the outside of that object. Join it back up. And we have our shape produced. And just like we did before, I'm going to go in, I'm going to click on the image first. I'm going to then click on that shape, up to Shape Format, Merge Shapes, Intersect, and there we go. Let's take it to the next level. I've produced this little figure over here just using 3 circles and a triangle that I've inverted so it looks like an ice cream cone. What I'm going to do is to highlight those 4 shapes that I've created, and I'm going to use that same tool, but this time I'm going to not intersect, but I'm going to click this one here that says Union. You can see that now has created one shape. Just like I did before, we've got to put that out in front. just like we did before, drag it over the top of another image, click that image first, hold down our control key, click the shape that we've made, shape format, merge shapes, intersect, and I've turned that shape that I've created with that background into an ice cream. This one's a really cool one. What I'm going to do is to insert a text box, and we'll just write the word ice cream, and I'm going to highlight it and make it a little bit larger so that we can see it nice and clear. Let's upscale, and I'm going to choose a nice big thick chunky font, something like, let's say, a Rockwell. Here we go. Nice big thick chunky one. We could even make that a little bit bigger if we wanted to. And we place that over the top of our background image. Now this time I'm going to click the background image. I'm going to click the shift button and then the text. I go back up here into my shape format, merge shapes and intersect, and we can see what we've created there. That can then be copied into a Word document or whatever else we wanted to, a PDF, or obviously into our PowerPoint. Tip number 5 is picture fill. So what I've created up here, let's replicate that. So insert a shape, any shape. Let's choose an oval shape. Let's go with something like this. I'm going to edit the outline just so it stands out for us, and we'll make it a little bit thicker so we can see it clearly. And then what I'm going to do is to go up here and I'm going to use this shape fill. So insert, and what I'm going to do is to go up here and click on shape fill, and I'm going to insert a picture, an online picture. Let's again stick with our animals. We've got some elephants there, and that will pop those elephants in there like so. Now once again, that acts as one thing. What I can do is go up into my picture format, select crop, and then I've got the ability to start moving things around and editing that how I see fit. Let's take it to the next level. This is pretty cool. It's known as a fractured effect. So what I'm going to do, again, insert some shapes. I'm just going to start with a basic rectangle, and I'm going to duplicate that. So we hold down the control key, drag down, leave a little bit of a gap, drag down, a little bit of a gap, drag down again, and leave a little bit of a gap. Just to add a little bit of an effect, I'm going to make these all slightly different lengths. You can see there. Now up here it says remove the shape outline, so I'm going to select all of those shapes. And we're going to go up here, shape format, shape outline. We're going to have no outline appearing. You could have an outline if you wanted to, but I think it looks a little bit better without. When we've done that, what we need to do is to group these shapes together. So we're going to go right click, group. So now they behave as one single image. But then we're going to do exactly what we did before. We're going to go up here, we're going to go shape, we're going to go shape fill. We're going to find a shape. Let's find a beach theme. First one will do us. And you can see what that has done. Now you could have used circles, triangles, whatever it is, but that would make a fantastic title page to a presentation. We've added some add-ins before. This is a cool add-in that I use regularly in the classroom. It's a timer, quite simple. Insert, add in. Now I've already downloaded this. If you haven't already downloaded, obviously you would go to get add-ins. It would take you to the add-in store and you can download it. But the one that I use is this one here, an easy timer. We simply add that to our page, and we've got a whole heap of options here. The one that I tend to use with the kids is a digital one. We've got a countdown. Let's say we've got a 5-minute countdown. We can add timing to this. When we're ready, we click simply click start. This one's got a tick sound. You can change that so there's no sound. It can ring an alarm when it's finished, but something that I use regularly in the classroom. Tip number 7. Over in the record tab, if you can't see that tab, sometimes we need to install that as something that is visible. Now, it's very difficult for me to show you this accurately because I'm actually using this currently to do this video. But if we can't see this record tab, if we right click over here somewhere in the ribbon, we get to customize that ribbon, and we can go down and we can make sure that the record tab has actually been added over onto this side. We'll find it over here with our tabs, all tabs, find it over here, we drag it over here so that it's viewable. We make sure it's ticked over here, so if I untick that it will be unseen. Make sure it's ticked over here, and that way we've customized our ribbon to be able to see that. In that record tab, the one that we're looking for is this one here. It's grayed out because I'm actually using it at the moment. It's our screen recording tab. When that opens, you would see this box appear. The first thing we do is select the area that we want to record. So I'm actually screen recording this entire screen at the moment. And when we're ready to go, that one would be a little red button like we see here that says record. We hit record, we get a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and it starts recording whatever is on your screen. You have the option for audio to be playing or not. You have the option for the pointer to be visible or not. When you're finished, or when I'm finished doing this, what I'll do is pop up here, I'll hit stop. It will save that video to the page that you are on at that time. What you then have the ability to do is to right click on that video, and you can save that as a video elsewhere on your computer, or you obviously can leave it embedded within your PowerPoint slide. Cameo is another option in that tab. So if I go up into my record tab again, I've got this icon over here that says Cameo. Now when I click Cameo, I get this little window appear down the bottom here. If I open that up, it's going to show my webcam. So if you're doing a presentation with your students, this is something that you might want to use. With that, I've got the option of changing, I've got a whole heap of options, the shape of it, how it appears, the size, I have a border around it, I've got camera effects, I can bring it forward, send it backwards, align it, but a whole range of options that I've got within that Cameo icon. Pretty cool little tool. Next one are some simple links. If I go up here, insert a link, I've got a few things in here. I can insert a link, I can insert this zoom, and I'll show you this one a little bit later too, a zoom summary, which is fantastic. But obviously I would need to click on an icon. So if I was to link something, I could link a Word document, I could link a website, whatever it is, to that image. I'm just going to go through and show you a few examples of how I've used this in the past. This one here was during lockdown in COVID a couple of years ago. I created this for my Marine Studies class. If they wanted to email me, all they had to do was to click on the icon of me, and you can see here there was a link set up to go straight to my email. Our OneNote could be accessed here, Teams was accessed through here, our assessment items here, there was a calendar of upcoming things. They could go to the NESA website. We had cameras set up on our fish tanks that the kids could go in and actually view. These books were some textbooks that the kids could access at the time. Very similar one is how I've showcased some of the STEM projects that I do. So each of these icons all linked to videos, YouTube clips of different projects that we do within STEM. Another idea a PE teacher came up with, that students could click on any of these and it gave them an exercise to do. You can see here there was frog jumps, there was squat jumps, to do a dance, and they were given little challenges along the way. Another teacher, English teacher, set up a mini library so she could click on those books that linked to books that the kids were reading. Another teacher decided to use it as an assignment base, a food tech teacher, so for foods around the world. You clicked on the image of the different foods and it gave an explanation, a little presentation about the different foods. We had an English teacher create an adventure style book, so it was actually linked to different parts of the PowerPoint slide. So if you chose to run, it would link to, let's say, slide number 3, which told you a story, gave you the option to link further. If you chose to hide, it might have taken you to slideshow number 2, or the slide number 2, and then giving you a whole different range of options. I've used it in my engineering classes to write an engineering report. So these are the different components of the engineering report. And you can see this one here is linked to a Prezi. This one is linked to another Prezi, linked to the student's OneDrive. It's more than likely a Word document or a PowerPoint that they've linked that to. So a different way of presenting that engineering report. Instead of just giving me a Word document, a little bit more exciting for the viewer. Going back to what I was talking about before, the summary zoom. Now we're at the end of this PowerPoint slide. So if I now go up into that Insert tab, I go to Links, I click Zoom, and I select the summary zoom. What it's showing me is every page now within this PowerPoint that I had. So if I went through and clicked on the 10 tips pages, what it's going to do is to actually create sections within my PowerPoint as well, and I'll show you that up the side what it looks like. But it's basically creating a whole heap of shortcuts for me that will be on one page. So you can see now if I click on this one, I've got to be in slideshow mode. If I click on that one, it takes me to that slide. Click on the next one, takes me to that slide. And again, you can watch the videos that are on there. Click on this one, there's the cameo that we were doing before. So a fantastic little option, that one. As I said before, it's created these sections. So there's our summary section where this page is. I've got this section here now, insert a video. So it's actually titled what each of these sections belong to, and that's all done automatically in that tool. Hope you've enjoyed those tips. Give your students a challenge to try one of those out in the next PowerPoint that they produce. Thank you.